Hi, everybody. I'm Diane Brady. I am here with Carrie Filipetti, who is Executive Director of the Vandenberg Coalition, which is a coalition of former foreign policy experts in the U.S. who are committed to not just a strong foreign policy for the U.S., but also to getting the facts right. Carrie, thanks for joining us. And I feel like I should start with what facts are we getting wrong with regard to the terrorist attacks on Israel and the aftermath?
Sure. Well, Diane, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here with you. I think whenever we're in a situation like this, where there are so many emotions and the facts are changing constantly on the ground, there's sort of two things that we should be mindful of. One is making sure that we maintain a sort of moral clarity about what's going on, about what our interests are, about what exactly has happened. And the second is to make sure that we don't get consumed by misinformation or disinformation. This is something we've seen particularly with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict for many, many years, frankly, decades. And it is very sensitive now. I'm worried that there's going to be a lot more misinformation, particularly as this war continues going forward.
Have you seen a lot so far? I mean, obviously, I know that people are being careful in how we classify Hamas, enemy combatants, militants, certainly not a government, but there is a reluctance to say terrorist.
Right, and there shouldn't be. Hamas is a designated terrorist organization according to the United States, also according to the European Union. And even though it's a complicated situation on the ground vis-a-vis the Israelis and the Palestinians and their long-term conflict, this particular situation was a terrorist provocation by the Hamas organization, which is supported by the Iranians, and it slaughtered 1,300 Jews, including women and children in their homes. So it's very important that no matter where you stand on the broader Israeli-Palestinian conflict, that we not confuse the Palestinian people with the Hamas terrorists, and that we're able to call them for what they actually are.
What about right now? Obviously, these horrific attacks have taken place. We're seeing, Israel, frankly, struggle, as many would, with how to orchestrate a response that achieves the ends they want to achieve with minimal damage. There are many families that are currently in the Gaza Strip from Israel. What is there anything about the rhetoric there that troubles you from a foreign policy perspective?
Well, I would say that what Israel's dealing with right now is, of course, there's over 150 hostages that are presumed to be in Gaza. And it's not just Israelis. I think there's 16 other nations that have nationals there, including likely some Americans. I know there are Brazilians, Colombians, Peruvians, Russians, Chinese. They're from all over the world. And so right now, Israel is trying to find ways that they can rescue those hostages, but also accomplish its long-term military objective, which in this case is to ensure that Hamas no longer poses the terrorist threat to the state of Israel going forward.